That shit was whistling.
That shit's loud.
What's up, Sam? Pop that hood for me real quick, boy. What you got under the hood? Ooh, he's got hood struts now, shit. Same radium setup that I have. Yeah, this shit is nice. He's on a Haltech as well. Bill Auto. It hasn't been tuned yet though. This shit looks good, damn. We left off dropping the motor in the car. It looks fucking great. But unfortunately, it has to come back out. As you guys knew, I had a shifter relocation on it. And I didn't have the right one on it. I should have just left the one that I had on it before. That's where my shifter's sitting. I have a relocation that makes it sit 2.5 inches farther back. And that's just about what it needs. It'll still probably sit like a little bit too far forward, but it'll be fine, to be honest with you. I'm a shorter guy, so honestly, probably won't be a bad thing to have the shifter sit a little bit farther forward, you know? But I'm running some fuel lines now. Feed will run right there to that dash 6. And, excuse me, the return will go right there outside of the regulator. And I have a flex fuel sensor that'll be going somewhere on this frame rail, probably. Technically, it's not the motor, but the trans needs to come out. And it's just easier to pull everything right now since nothing's connected to the motor or anything like that. My problem the shifter that I took off is honestly the shifter that I should be using. I bought a shifter that relocated it even farther forward when, to be honest, it needed to be like probably further back just a little bit. So this shifter should work, but the other shifter is just not gonna work. I'm gonna have to cut way too much stuff. I'm not gonna cut my carbon shifter on the inside. I'm not gonna cut anything on the inside. I want it to look close to OEM. So I will have to go back to this shifter, which requires the trans to come back out and me to stand the trans up on its nose and take the back housing off of it. You'll see. But unfortunate, but it gives me space to put a drill in there so I can put my flex fuel sensor in and my MAC valve and other things that I needed to get in there while the motor is in. So you'll see. Getting the radiator test fitted, making some coolant lines. Dash 16. Made the top one already. Bottom one's gonna be a little bit more tricky because it has to go from here and then wrap around the alternator. I got another 90. It'll probably work just fine. I figured I'd show you the last process on this last line that I have down here. I have it marked where I'm gonna cut it. I matched it up kind of how I can. I'm kind of working with space down, like no space down here. But I got it generally to where I think it's gonna match up with this 90 degree down here. I ended up using a 65 or 45 down there, I think. Not as straight that I thought I was gonna use. It was gonna hit the sway bar if I did. But I'll show you the process of making this line. Cut this with a grinder, a little lube, throw this fitting on, and then thread this one into it and tighten it up here. There's always gonna be some shit in there. So you're going to want to take some brake cleaner, spray it out. That goes for fuel lines, coolant lines, really any line that you're making. to be honest with you. Just rather be safe than sorry. This is the AN fitting right here. This part unscrews from the top piece. I'm gonna take some grease right here, like it's just dielectric grease, honestly. I don't have anything else right now. Vaseline, whatever really works. You take it and you force it onto this line. As you can see, the hose is pushed all the way in to the line. Gonna take this. I don't know if you should or not, but I put a little grease on those threads because I don't want to mess them up. You gotta force this thing in there and make it start threading. They make special wrenches for these fittings so you don't scratch them. I still scratch them anyways, to be honest with you. I'm either not doing something right or something. I didn't get it all the way in. This is a bitch. This part is a bitch right here, I'm not gonna lie. This part sucks. Grease up this part too, a little bit. I have this vise that's not put down on anything, not bolted down anything, with these AN fitting attachments to not scratch the fittings. Tighten it down on there. Take your AN wrench and just start tightening it on there. Or well, also probably because my voice. What's up? You good? Like I said, I always scratch them. This one's not so bad, but these are on the bottom anyways. I'll be honest, this one's a little bit long, but I can angle it to where it won't hit anything, and it should be just fine. That looks cooler than rubber hoses, but I don't think it was cool enough to actually do it again. I literally could have just bought rubber hoses that are plug and play for this car. And it was very dumb of me to do this. I'm gonna have to trim my fan because if you can see, it just barely nicks the feed or the top hose. Shouldn't be a big deal, but the motor's still gotta come back out. I'm just running all the lines. Return line for my fuel. There's a feed line somewhere back there. It's coming together. As you can see, it's raining. Trying to keep my workplace covered. Odyssey Fab catch can. Making some lines. Radium press fittings right here. 10 a.m. Run some lines real quick. Let's get it done. These are a little bit easier than those -16s I was making for my coolant lines, but same rule of thumb applies, I guess. Oh, no, it worked. That's fine. Yeah, these are a lot easier than those. There's one line. There's that one line installed. Let's get the other one done. Number 2. Catch can's done. AN lines everywhere. Now time to pull everything back out, pull the motor out to fix the shifter on the trans. Surprise guest again.
Didn't we just do that?
It's back out. Fuck you. Flex fuel sensor going right here. Mac valve going somewhere around there. I don't know what else. He doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
The control arms are a little tweaked. What the fuck is this, man?
That's my trans out.
You're missing this.
Well, I'm missing a fucking whole motor and trans now. Let me see the boo-boo.
Oh, no.
You cut your finger? That does look kind of painful, I'm not gonna lie. Tranny is off. Fucking boom. As you can see, the garage is a fucking mess. Started the morning here with my engine hoist. Stopped working. And it doesn't work anymore. Something else I didn't feel like addressing that I have to do now is take this back housing off to replace this shifter with the longer shifter that I have. As you can see, we have the back half of the trans off. I have some silicone to remove. This is the shifter I will be putting on. As you can see, it's moved back. This is the shifter I'm replacing. You can see it's farther forward and lean forward at the same time. This one should be a lot better, to be honest. That's the shifter selector rod. See how short it is. And here's the new one. It's about, well, I'd assume 2.5 inches longer than the other one. So let's get this other shifter back on. Not worry about this again, hopefully. Didn't film that part, but we got the rear housing resealed, thrown back on. Gotta throw this selector rod back in, throw the bolt back in with some Loctite, and then the top will go back on. Now that it's all done, I got the transmission laid back down, I got the shifter on, and I'm gonna show you that goes through all the gears, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and I think reverse. A lot better than the stock shifter feel, and it should feel really good. Hopefully I won't have to take this back out once I put it in again. I'm kind of just chilling in here under my hood in my engine bay. I threw this flex fuel sensor in last night. I do want to be able to run E when I do have the chance and be able to tune the car for E. I also had to change some of the fittings in the back for PTFE fittings because I wasn't comfortable with the ones that I had on before. But hopefully the motor goes back in today if I can get a homie to come and help me. Early morning, getting shit done. Hold on, let's see how the shifter looks actually. That's the key factor here. No! That's not good.
You said it was gonna be.
I have to like trim a little bit of this if I want this to work.
Yeah, no, that ain't gonna work. You're gonna have to. Well, the better thing.
We got that shifter to work. The shifter kind of leans back, so it kind of helped a little bit, but it shifts through all the gears, no problem. No lifting or tugging unnecessarily, but you can see that the shifter leans forward and then it cuts down. So like it kind of helped with the whole situation that I had going on here. Should be fine. Doesn't feel bad from the driver's seat or anything. So now that hopefully my motor is in for the last time, that means the radiator can be installed for the last time. and I can get to installing this Blitz intercooler right here. I've just installed this bracket for it. I had to cut the support. It actually tells you to remove it, but I just left it in there and modified it. Richie Contreras, I think is his name, did that on his YouTube video. That's where I got that from. Now let's get everything else mocked up. I can't get this side mocked up because I'm missing this half of my intake manifold. I still have to do some injector wiring later on, but I'll get everything else mocked up for the most part. Intercooler piping and intercoolers installed. All nice vibrant couplers and TurboSmart clamps. Other than this, I guess I had to use my stock hose for that. Gritty up pipe. Still no intake manifold on, but we have everything ran. Just mocking everything up pretty much. Hopefully nothing has to come back off, to be honest with you. That would be great. I also installed an oil cooler. It runs down to a chase-based thermostatic sandwich plate down there. I'm missing a fitting though for that top piece, so that is something I ordered and I will be waiting on. There's the fitting down there, 290s. But I have to wait on parts now, so that's it for now. Just like, comment, and subscribe for more, guys. That would be cool.